Hey guys, here's my stuff today. I've got the Tatara. Tell you more about witch heads and stuff later. I've got this is my prize brush from the Lather games last month in June. A That Darn Rob handle and B4 declaration brush knot. I've really enjoyed using it. I'm confident today is going to be no different. Get it back in the water. It doesn't need a long time to soak, but the tips are a little crispy, so that means it would appreciate some time, in my opinion, a little bit more than maybe a pour over. You know, give it a few minutes is what I like to do. The blade we're going to put in the Tatara is, I haven't used this Gillette Silver Blue or any GSB in quite a while, and I just wanted to go back to it because today I'm testing out the Masamune base plate to Nodachi top cap, Nodachi handle. It's going to be a smoother shave than my full Nodachi configuration that I've used before on this channel, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, his special occasion is my first use of Grapefruit, and a kind Redditor online was able to get me some, and I'm really looking forward to using it. I have come to enjoy Grapefruit scented soaps, and this one I'll bet it's not going to be any different. And this is his newer base that he came out with a year or two ago, not his original one, which was still very good. It's a vegan soap. What jumps out right away is grapefruit, and to be honest, the other things that are entwined with it, and I'm sure they are not as noticeable or discernible from just the dry pup. So I'm interested to see how things pan out. Oh, you know what? I just got a mango note right there. There's some green mango in here. Oh man, that's a great match with the grapefruit. Wow. All right, hey, let's tilt you guys down just a hair because I'm also going to show you the lather. Quality is probably a little bit better than my recent videos because I'm using my Chromebook today. The phone that I've been using for quite a number of years busted, broke, and it's a sad day. That was a good phone for a long time. I do have one on order, but it was supposed to get here a week and a half ago, and it's still not here. It's crazy. So let me show you again the soap base here. Stephen Joyner and Courtney, I'm sorry I don't remember her last name, but those two are responsible for the Southern Witchcrafts, and I believe Courtney is the main person doing the scents and the soaps. Now, you'll also see that this is a collaborative effort. AP Reserve, Australian Private Reserve, worked on this as well. It was a limited release. I don't know how limited. I don't know if they're still working on, I think it's basically a case where Dan, I believe his name is, at AP Reserve, sends the scent to Stephen and Courtney, and then they make the soap. And so they basically can only make as much soap as they have scent. So I don't know how forthcoming the inventory will be in the future, or if this was a one and done type release. But you grapefruit fans, I am confident, are going to be big fans of this one. All right, so unfortunately with this Chromebook, it has a wider field of vision than the old camera I had to switch to. I've used it the last few shaves. The coloring I think is also better on this one too, lighting and whatnot. But unfortunately I can't pause you, and that's a big ding, so I'm afraid you'll have to listen to my water running here. Oh, you know what? I can't do it this time, but maybe I will have a bowl or something and use water, and that way I can rinse my razor in it, and then I won't have to use the faucet quite as much. Maybe I'll use that as kind of a workaround until my real phone gets here. All right, so let me get my face wet. Nope. Let's put the blade in the razor while my hands are dry, and I'm not going to mess up this little paper envelope. This blade does not have very many uses on it. This is not my Marathon GSB. It's just one that I use kind of for testing. I will go through a good many of those because I'll use them up to maybe 12 uses or so, and then I'll pitch them because I use them for evaluation. So I'll show you what direction is the text. So here's the base plate there for the Masamune, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry for the focus. I don't know how it's controlled on this machine. I don't know where to hold myself so that it focuses properly. Apologize. All right, the one good thing, a couple of good things about the Nodachi head. They retracted the threading, or they threaded more of the post on the top cap, and so you can now use non-Tatara handles with the Nodachi top cap, and so I'm a big fan of that. That was my main hesitance about getting the Masamune when it first came out, because this little roundy, I think of samurais, and indeed I should, because that's the picture they have on the base plate. And so when I think of samurais, I don't think of bubbly, roundy handles and dots, and so to me it was really a mismatch. However, I've come to learn, I believe it was Kevy Shaves online who commented on one of my videos, who said that this little shape up here, that kind of, the bubbles, that little shape is a symbol of good luck in that culture. And so that's probably why they used it. Plus, they were probably going for a modern take as well. But anyway, the head, this base plate on the Tatara, it's a thing of beauty. It's light and elegant, and you almost feel like, am I holding something metal? But you know that you are. But it's just so compact. The head design, as you can see there, is just not much to it. The handle here has a good bit of weight, and I think they made that as an intentional design purpose, because this is the more aggressive of the razor configurations. So again, we have Nodachi top cap, which is a little bit more aggressive than the Masamune top cap. We've got the Nodachi handle, which is longer and therefore heavier than the Masamune handle. But we have the Masamune base plate. According to their website, all the different base plates and handles and things like that are interchangeable within the Tatara system, FYI. Now I find I don't actually hold the razor right up in this zone. It puts way too much weight back here. I could hold it right here if this were shorter, but I usually find one finger in the dotted area and then the rest down below is a really good balance point for me. Looking forward to this shave because it's a pretty sharp blade, historically speaking, and the base plate, the Masamune, promises to be even nicer than the Nodachi base plate I recently shaved with. It wasn't uncomfortable at all, the Nodachi. You don't get blade support right up to the edge like you do with maybe a Carve or a Wolfman or Fatip. And so there was on the Nodachi base plate some audio, and so you know that microscopically speaking, the blade is moving, vibrating a little bit as it's moving across your skin, and that produces a less smooth shave. Some people like that noise as they're shaving, and that's okay. I used to like it until I all of a sudden experienced some smooth razors, and I thought, wow, I like that even better. So let's get on with it. So that blade is in place. The brush has been soaking nicely. And hey, can I tap on the microphone and make it go mute? No, oh wait, that's not a touch screen. Okay, sorry I have to look very strangely into the camera. I believe that I just muted you while I use the water, and that could be a big win. This app does not offer the ability to pause. So I'm afraid you'll have to watch the rinses and things like that until my new camera comes in. Okay, As I was getting my beard wet, I noticed, and I'm going to let you know that we're looking at about a 1.5 day shave. With a sharp blade, even in a mild razor, I usually enjoy that kind of shave, and it's usually not tuggy at all because the blade just slices right through, and I usually find that it's not a disadvantage to a nice fresh blade, even in a super mild razor like a Tech or the Fatip Testina Gentile. They just move through this kind of stubble so well if you have proper technique. Longer stubble is a problem. Comfort speaking, if I have my a blade that I'm marathoning, anything over 80 uses or so I'm gonna feel it, and it's gonna tug a little bit, but it's usually not uncomfortable in a bad enough way to stop. All right, so the water is going to be wetting my whiskers and getting them to be hopefully easier to cut. We'll open up the soap. This is a nice big knot that holds a lot of water. Let's not drown the soap. I like to shake out a good bit of the water because then I can track how much I add, and that's kind of for the benefit of you guys. Now, since I'm going to be over here in front of the sink, let me pivot and frame the video just a touch better. And you still don't quite need to see my forehead, do you? Because then it'll be easier for you to see the bowl and stuff like that. It's a little difficult for me to see the timer there. If I put my nose in just the right spot, we'll do a 30-second load. We're going to start at the 45-second mark. Kind of medium airy and bubbly right away, and that's neither good nor bad. It's a really nice soap base. I have used this newer soap base before. And one more second or two, and there we go, 30 seconds. And like I said, this brush has a lot of water, and it maybe was a little deceptive in how much water I left in it. But I'm pretty sure I was able to gather up enough soap into the brush, and you can see it is really quite drippy. Let's see if we can kind of take advantage of some of that. Do a little bit of a minor face wash here. All right, let's rinse out the tub. Sorry, I couldn't mute the audio because the suds were all over my hands. All right, let's mix up that lather. So I made some notes, and I really had to because there's no way that I was going to remember the notes in this particular scent. Just show you, looks like maybe 12 or 14 notes, 12 or 14 scent parts. So let me prop that up so that I can read it while I mix. It is going to be in the description of the video. Green mango, and yeah, that is something I was able to pull out. I probably would not have been able to identify it if I didn't have the scent list in my brain, having looked at it once or twice, and then of course having transcribed it. Bergamot, which is kind of in the orange family. Yuzu, again, an orange type citrus. White grapefruit, pear, cedarwood, Elemi, Elemi. I don't know what that scent is. Frankincense, Vetiver, Freesia, Aldehydes. A couple of this scents that I really like have aldehydes in them. Now this is kind of thickening up easily, so I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of water. West Egg has some aldehydes because they're trying to bring in a feeling of champagne. And then Strange Love by Dr. Johns. West Egg is a storybook. Strange Love is by Dr. Johns, and it also is bringing in, it's a throwback to that old movie, and they wanted to bring in kind of a scorched earth paranoia kind of feel, so they chose Aldehydes to do that, and I really like it. Ho Wood, I don't know what Ho Wood is. H-O space wood. Sandalwood. Costus. C-O-S-T-U-S. Don't know about that one either. That's one I've actually never heard of before I got to this soap. And then a Jasmine Sambac or something like that. So those are the notes, and as you can see, there's quite a lot, and a few of them that I just have no hope of being able to identify. One of the great things, and now we've got 2 teaspoons in the lather, one of the great things about Southern Witchcrafts, other than the excellent people that run it, and they're not witches. I talk to them. I am a faith-centered person, and I needed to talk to them before I would kind of endorse their products, and that's just a theme that they have chosen to go with. They find it interesting, and so they've kind of based their business design and pattern around it. So, but they're awesome folks. I got the chance to meet, both of them at a meetup in 2019. And it was wonderful to meet them. So we've got 3 teaspoons in it now. Let's just see what we're smelling. Oh yeah, some of the other pieces are starting to come out. The grapefruit was very dominant when it was a dry puck. It has backed off a little bit as the primary note. I'm able to still smell that mango pretty well. Some of the other pieces are coming forward. That's very interesting. It's not grave related. It's not dark. It's not foreboding. It's kind of bright, but it's not bitter punchy, like maybe Baker Street kind of might be. It's very citrus, but it is the grapefruit, kind of citrus. But you can tell these other little bits are coming in. Seems to be really intelligently put together. Oh, hey, I smell the pear too. Do I smell any wood? Cedarwood. I'm kind of glad about that. I'm usually not a big cedar fan. So we've got 4 teaspoons in the lather now. Frankincense. Now, if it's in there, I'm not able to pick it up. I'm sure it is, but it's not dominant enough for me to be able to pull it out with my own nose. I do like Vetiver a lot. It's not super strong. Sandalwood. Oh, I smell the aldehydes there. Kind of smell them. They're more muted than the other 2 soaps I mentioned with aldehydes. I think I think the level of aldehydes in this one, I think it's perfect. It's not overwhelming at all. Matter of fact, you might not even be able to pull them out of it unless you, like me, you're looking at a list and trying to discern them. Beautiful lather. 5 teaspoons now. So I was able to pick, the white grapefruit, the pear, probably the Yuzu, although I'm not really great at pulling out the Yuzu. Bergamot, mango. Yeah, those are definitely the main scents. And the other ones are just tweaking. And the aldehydes, yeah. The other ones are just kind of tweaking the scent. So what I just mentioned, those are definitely the dominant scents to me. That's a really well put together scent. And I guess I should be praising Dan at AP Reserve for this wonderful scent creation. And the soap base, I guess I should be praising Courtney, right? It looks terrific, creamy, got a sheen to it. pull it down to the bottom of the bowl like that, and then I can get halfway under it and pull it up, and so we can kind of look at the elasticity there. That's really good. Let's go ahead and use it. You might need just a touch more water. So that's 5 teaspoons. All right. So I'm going to pause you while I get my face wet. And of course, what I mean by get my face wet is rinse off the pre-wash that I kind of used before, and it gets my face, it refreshes the wetness on my face to prepare for the lather to come on. And then what I meant by pause you was mute you so you didn't have to listen to the water. Make sure that, yep, the icon is really difficult to see, and so I have to keep focusing on it to make sure I don't talk when I'm muted, when I don't want to. All right, this is a nice big knot. The tips are crazy soft. It's just a joy to use. A lot of times when you start putting on your lather like this, it might look perfect. And every once in a while something will happen and it'll start getting a little drier. I don't think it's because the water is evaporating from your lather. I'm guessing just the soap is somehow there was some soap that wasn't quite mixed with the water that is now, thickening it up or something like that. Maybe your skin, maybe my skin is absorbing some of the water, and so then it's causing the soap to lose that. Nice creamy mix, and I could definitely take it wetter if I wanted to. Wonderful feel on the face today. I'm gonna go ahead and put another teaspoon of water in there just for grins. In the bowl. Okay. The mild base plate, the less mild top cap, the Nodachi, and the handle isn't as relevant to the aggression. It's relevant to your comfort because many times it can absorb some of the feel, and so a heavier handle will give you a sensation of a smoother shave than a lighter handle on the same head. I do get a little bit of tiny noise, but it is just gliding through the hair. Nice sharp blade. Let's see, did I pause? Nope, I didn't. I do, as you can hear, I can hear it as well, the singing of the blade, the audio. It's less than a lot of the other razors out there. It's more than some of the smoother ones like I mentioned before, but it's less enough that it makes me think maybe I might keep this guy around. We'll see. lather felt great. So now let's integrate that extra teaspoon that I put into the lather here. Yeah, see, it is still a tremendous lather even after adding that teaspoon. I like this one better. It's slicker while still being creamy. Oh man, that's nice. A lot of vegan soaps are not able to have this kind of slickness. It's a creamy, that's really nice. It's difficult for vegan soaps to get this kind of feel. I'm kind of, my brain is befuddled. I may have just actually said that very same sentence, but what I mean is there's a little bit of viscosity to it, an oiliness to it that is oily, creamy, you know, like butter, even silky butter. It's really, really top-notch feel there, and it's really well hydrated as well. So you know you're going to get good performance in addition to the kind of the luxury feel. Wow. All right. The rinse felt terrific after the first pass, both in terms of luxury, slickness, and smoothness because of the soap base, but also in terms of the stubble being cut very well in just one pass. It's being less noisy because there's less stubble to be noisy with. I could cut myself, I believe. I could, with some improper technique, give myself a little bit of irritation, you know, razor burn, if I wasn't careful. So it's not a foolproof, idiot mild type razor. And indeed, I mean, you don't want to overshave. If I've already gotten this area right here really well, I don't need to keep touching it up after each pass. So this razor just easily mowed down my day and a half of growth just without a problem. Do I then feel the need to go back to the Nodachi top cap? I don't think so. And to be honest, I don't really feel too much of a difference between the two. I would have to use them back to back. I'm sure I could tell, but on this second pass, I did actually, on my neck, start to feel maybe a little bit of tenderness, perhaps because it's cutting so well, and I don't need to overshave. So we'll be careful and remain vigilant about a light touch on this third pass. This is a tremendous lather. Maybe the highest praise I could give it is that if I only had to use this lather, I would not miss my tallow soaps. And for me, that's a compliment of large proportions. All right, so just a light, easy kind of touch-up run here. Not really experiencing any drag. However, with this one, because I am feeling a little tenderness on that second pass, making sure my skin is taut might be a good idea too. But the fact that it's not super smooth makes me think that the Masamune top cap might be worth trying to find. How are we doing? Almost done here. And let me put a little lather right there and do this run here. And there we go. Let's rinse everything. All right. I forgot to bring in a post-shave product. I really need to bring something in here and just always have it in the closet back there. Let's take a smell here. It was not super strong during the lathering. It was just a nice 5 out of 10. And this is a very pleasant, enjoyable scent. So I could see if it were stronger, I could see it still being very enjoyable to use. But it's just fine. You do get a nose full when you put it in. Rich scents. The pear and the mango with the white grapefruit and the yuzu. Probably the bergamot too, but that's a little harder for me to pull out. Those four are just working so well together to be just a potent, rich scent. It just feels almost a thick, sweet, but the grapefruit is keeping it from being so sweet that you're like, I've got a cavity now. Man, that's a really great scent. Dan, nice job. Seriously. That's really good stuff. It's people were clamoring for that, and I think in this case it's warranted. Sometimes there's some hype around new releases and limited releases, and a lot of people have to get it just because they feel like they have to get it. In this case, I believe it's very, very well warranted. I did feel a few tingly spots as I was rinsing, and so I think we've got a very efficient cutting job that has happened during the shave. And I am going to go, I'm just going to have to, never mind about the shave. What I'll probably do is the aftershave products. I don't want you to sit here and look at a blank room while I run get something. But what I'll probably do is a little bit of witch hazel from Thayer's, which is mainly an aloe solution, but it's got some witch hazel in there too. It's unscented, alcohol-free. And then I'll follow it up with something. You can see it in the description of the video if you're really interested. And I'll try also to mention the type of feel I get. I'll use an alcohol splash, and so then that will kind of tell me and confirm the little tender spots that I probably am going to be feeling. So, wow, terrific base. 30-second load. I could probably back that off to a 25, for sure. I definitely have some margin. I don't think I have an excessive amount of lather left over, but it could definitely do 2 or 3 passes if I needed it to. But that's kind of about the margin I like to have, maybe just a touch more. So I could back off the ratio just a little bit, but it's just a tremendous consistency. I think I nailed it perfectly. Adding that extra teaspoon, put it right exactly where I like it. Still very creamy, super slick, well hydrated, luxurious feeling, and not thick on your face. I could get away with that first pass and enjoy it definitely, but it was even better once I added the last teaspoon. So that makes 6 teaspoons for a 30-second load. That's an easy enough ratio to mess around with if you want to back it down a little bit, like I might next time. So with a fresh blade, and this one has had, I mean, it's not super fresh by some people's standards. Looks like it's had 6 uses. So on its 7th use, cut super well. Matter of fact, almost too well, perhaps. I might have to be careful with this one. Really happy with the razor. Did not experience any noticeable drag this time. I'm happy to find out about that. Razor did well. And because of just the tenderness that I'm feeling, I may tend to prefer other razors. Perhaps I could, pick up that Masamune top cap, try that out, see what I think about that. That might be maybe my preference instead of the Nodachi setup. At least with this blade, there may be other blades that feel differently and don't generate quite the same tenderness, because I'm guessing it's because just of the excellent sharpness, I think is what we're talking about here. All right, very good. I'm such a huge fan of this soap base and the scent, and I am very grateful to the Redditor who was able to hook me up with some, even after I kind of missed the drops. All right, there we go. Wonderful shave. I hope that this video format here works for you. I hope that I was able to pause the noisy parts for the most part, and hope that you get something out of this shave like I did. I sure discovered a lot. It was great. You guys take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. See you next time.